I'm Andy Curtin. I'm here with Vivek.
That is right. My surname is Mabubani. He can't say it, so I'll say it myself.
I try.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's okay.
I do my best. I got close that one time.
I'll acknowledge it.
If you want to find me online, it's at Andy Curtin on everything. Where do we find you?
Find me on Instagram. Yeah, well, I mean, if you really are that bored and desperate, then find me online at Funny Vivek with the letter M sometimes. Try both, one of them is me.
It's at Vivek Marbles Army.
Exactly. So smash your keyboard, Google will autocorrect it. Yeah, don't worry too much.
If you like the podcast, you can subscribe. Also, we have a badass Patreon. I can't speak. Patreon is going out every Thursday. We do a bonus episode. We've got lots of other fun content. We're doing video. We've got video up there now.
And if we hit a certain number of subscribers, we could even pay for Andy's English lessons to say the word Patreon.
How bad is my speaking getting?
It's Australian accent, so it's really
growing.
bad.
It's like no, I mean that exactly.
Yeah, you see,
that sounded planned, but my tongue is just too big for my mouth.
I can't understand what you're saying, so I have to lip read every time you speak, and I'm like, he meant that.
It sounds racist.
Okay, go on.
Huge Patreon shout outs to Daniel Smith and Ike Sewardson, recent patrons. Thank you so much for getting on that. And today's guest, I am very, very excited to have Tricia Yap on. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great. How do people find you online?
I'm on Tricia Yap at Instagram. I think there's either me or this chick in the US.
Okay, so it's either Tricia Yap or Tricia Yap.
Yeah. I get her emails sometimes. So
you know what? There isn't another at Vivek Marbles Army.
Yeah, exactly.
That right. You're definitely going to land on the our Vivek.
I need zero effort on my branding. It's like that has to be him. We can't find someone else to replace him. I can't even get a stunt double.
People keep telling me they think my name is fake.
Andy Curtin?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was a stage name, like Curtin. I'm like, well, you mean
sounds
like
stage name?
It's
right?
not. I've been doing stand-up. This is 10 years now.
Yeah.
This month, and no one's ever mentioned this to me until like this month. Everyone's like, we think your name is fake. I was like, what? This is my name.
Well, I mean, today we got three people with three different interesting surnames. Mabuzani, we got Curtin, and Yap.
I think you even got your name wrong that time.
I'm accepting Mabuzani as my name today. I'm doing it.
It's Marbles Army.
Yeah, Marbles Army. Hey, that could be the new trend, right? I could have a new little brand.
That could be a stage name.
There you go, Marbles Army. Hey, Marbles Army bomb tonight, but Mabubani kill.
What is the stage doing having names like that? So you are a guru, a well-respected leading voice in Hong Kong's fitness and wellness
I think so.
industry. You think so?
I think so. That's what...
That's what everybody keeps telling me.
That's what... I don't actually say anything about it. That's actually what CNN wrote a while ago. And then I went, oh, really? Oh, cool.
That's
Thanks.
nice, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take it.
You get one from CNN. CNN just said probably a fake name for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't win.
Or maybe they mixed you up like she was researching this American trainer is really good. We interviewed her? Okay. We'll take it.
All right. So you were born in Malaysia.
Yep.
And then pretty young age you went to the greatest country on earth, I believe. Australia. Where were you in Australia?
Sydney.
Oh, okay. Fine. No.
Well, you can't speak English, so I assume you're from Queensland?
Come from Melbourne. Thank you very much. Queensland.
There was an article a while back which said that 70% of Queenslanders can't speak English.
Or read.
Wow. Or read, yeah. That's why they came up with the article. They'll never know.
So how did you end up in Hong Kong? What got you out here?
So once upon a time, I used to work in management consulting. That was my first job out of university.
Wow, you really like to suffer, don't you?
I know. Masochist.
Who was it for?
Pricewaterhouse.
Bloody hell.
Man.
Well, basically...
So you don't like to sleep, I guess. That's...
Well, I actually took a gap 3 months, went to the US, partied, and realized on the day that I woke up in Brooklyn with a major hangover at someone's house that I didn't know, that I had missed all the investment banking deadlines for graduate applications.
Damn. Wow. Okay. All right.
So I went, because I was thinking it's today, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm in the US.
Oh, the day before.
Been there.
Oh, man. Numbers. Yeah.
What do I do? And anyway, the Big Four was in a week's time, so I applied for all the accounting firms and Yeah, that's
what
how I
year
ended
are we
up.
talking?
All right, a while ago. Let's do that. If people start doing the math.
Age.
It's like, she was this year at this
Okay,
age. she was
fine.
this age.
Next question.
Early
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever meet a guy named Matt Tyler working at PwC in? Never mind.
Probably, I don't know.
Anyway, so you got out of there though.
I did. I moved with PwC here.
Oh,
That's how
so
I ended up
that's
in.
why-
yeah,
okay,
that's how I
okay.
ended up in Hong Kong.
Pretty good when you come
Exactly.
with a job.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Neither of us
It
know
was
what
the
that's like.
GFC,
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
wasn't going to quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2008, 9.
End of 2008, I arrived on Typhoon 8 Day. Didn't know what that was.
Okay, good day.
Yeah, exactly. My boyfriend then, who became my husband, who later became my ex-husband, basically showed up at IFC Hong Kong Station.
Yeah.
Well, showed up meaning he was sleeping on a bench.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I just arrived and everyone's talking about Typhoon on the plane. And they're like, go, get
Yeah,
it.
we gotta
get on the
land, we gotta
train."
land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I
yeah.
was like,
You're like, is that like dim
what's
sum?
going
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
I
Yeah,
know. I
yeah.
was like,
What do you mean, like typhoon? As in a
know.
Thai dim sum? What's going on over here?
And I was thinking, holy shit, this is going to be a natural disaster. We're all going to die. I got to get to my accommodation ASAP. So I'm like 2 suitcases,
Yeah,
my
rushing.
snowboard. I'm rushing up the escalator.
Yeah.
And trying to get in, and I'm going, where's the fucking Typhoon?
Yeah.
They're the biggest non-events half
Yeah.
the time.
Usually, like Typhoon 8 in Hong Kong is like when it's actually up in the reports and stuff. You're looking at it going like, wait, what? This is Typhoon 8, and then Typhoon 1 is like,
I was in Shanghai for 10 years, and they would have these typhoons. It was I'm like, it's just raining.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a lot of rain. I don't get it.
So I just,
Typhoon is Chinese for a little windy.
exactly. We don't like bad for our hair. You know?
exactly. So all I kind of like realized that Typhoon 8s were basically everyone in Lang Kwai Fong, they get like free drinks or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
right?
That's
and so therefore
hilarious.
your
Yeah.
other half shows up in a coma.
Yeah.
And that's Typhoon 8. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it. And,
yeah, yeah.
and we spent all day inside. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't go out. And he's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's a natural disaster. It's coming at us.
Yeah, come from Australia
Yeah.
especially. You're like, natural disasters are not a joke. If we're here, we're like,
Yeah.
Typhoon 10.
Or like your greatest tropical storm is less dangerous than like the critters in our country.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
A
Yeah.
small spider, much worse than your level 8 rainstorm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, don't go out.
Yeah.
Everything's closed.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. So then he got you used to the whole habit of Hong Kong. Like Typhoon 8 means no work, but means party time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
And
you
I was like,
started
oh, this place is sweet. I can stay here.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was here before you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he moved first, and then I came across after.
Why Hong Kong?
He got a job here, and we were together. And I was like, well, I'm doing the same old shit in Australia. Might as well just try something new. I'm
Yeah.
young at the time. Bloody hell! At the time, I was sort of mid-20s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the time you want
might
to
as
experiment and
well,
try
exactly.
and see. Yeah. Where
and
you
I
wanna
wanted
go.
to travel. I mean, I wanted to travel elsewhere other than New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you might see, a civilization.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Tall buildings, people who can speak. It's like, okay, that's how it works over here. That's possible.
Yeah.
Right. So then, you first financial industry, and then at some
Yeah.
point you must have looked at me like, what am I doing? Or you got enough money? Like, I got too much. I had calculating. I had counting. What's going on?
Yeah. My apartment's too
basically-
small to carry all these bags of money.
Yeah, exactly.
No, basically, so I was probably the worst. Well, I developed anger management issues here in Hong Kong. when I started working.
That's not an issue.
So you
I went-
localize.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So I basically went from, in my head thinking maybe I should create this new tech game on these smartphones where you basically navigate Hong Kong streets, but you get points for like ramming into people. Or I can go and I can continue with my alcoholism.
Yeah.
Or I can actually hit something.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, yeah.
So
So,
you-
basically, I ended up in a gym. Someone had signed me up for hedge fund fight night.
Okay.
And I thought it would be a great, fantastic idea to start to learn how to box.
Yeah.
Plus, I'd already broken a keyboard.
Oh, they signed you up to be the fighter?
Yeah.
Oh, now that's true friendship. That is a Hong Kong way of like, hey, we want to see you at the headphone fight now. That'd be great.
Would you
It'd be
like
fun
to
time.
try something different? We want to see you kill someone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I stuck a pen through a laptop, so maybe that was it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But I got signed up to this. I didn't really think I was going to do it. I thought, oh, it's free training.
Yeah.
I
You
get some
signed
cardio
up to
in.
publicly fight someone thinking you weren't really going to do it.
Yeah. Why not?
True. I mean, like a lot of times.
And you were a management consultant? How are the companies you're advising?
Hence the reason of changing of careers.
You're like, all right, as consultancy, we think you should just risk everything you have on something you're not sure if you want to do. That's
Yeah.
our advice.
And sign here. Thank you.
That's pretty much what management consulting is.
Yeah. That's why we don't do it.
my understanding of management consulting is where they pay you a lot of money
To say
give
exactly
them a
that.
recommendation so they can do whatever they were going to do in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then come back to you a couple of years later and say, can you fix this shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like
Pretty
kind of the hype man. They were gonna rap that song anyway, but like, yeah, say what, and you're like, that was part of my lyrics. I was gonna say it anyway, but okay.
Is it good for your branding where you're like, I don't know if we should take her advice. She's fighting someone.
Or maybe we really should take her advice because she's gonna kill people. So
They're like,
No, I just didn't know I had it in me.
take her advice. Just take it.
don't negotiate. Just take
She
it.
has a pen in her hand.
Exactly.
Did you see her laptop?
Exactly. Yeah. Did you got the thin version?
Because before, I was just a passive aggressive person like everyone else in this city.
Yeah.
So
And I
instead of
didn't know
focusing
that
on the
I could
aggressive
actually,
side,
Yeah.
go.
So instead
Yeah.
of focusing
Yeah.
on the aggressive side, you thought you'd focus on the passive side and stay the same amount of aggression, but
Yeah.
have it active aggression.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Where people
And then
celebrate
when I
it.
discovered active aggression, I was like, I can't look back now.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So people
What?
voluntarily come up to let you punch them. It's like, yeah, I could do this.
Exactly. and
There are a
it's
lot
great.
of punchable people in this city. I got to be honest with
Oh,
you.
definitely. Yeah, but voluntary, like as in they came up saying like, punch me. That's the difference, you know. That's a different
Where
game.
everyone in the room's like, we're cool with this.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, so hedge fund fight night. You get on the ring. Was it ring? Right?
Yeah.
Was it ring? Okay,
so it was white collar boxing.
Yeah.
Got in the ring. Got completely addicted. Started competing in other like sort of amateur fights.
yeah,
So you have like a pretty, you don't do things in halves. Is that fair?
yeah. You go all the way.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't get
guess
in
so,
investment
yeah.
banking. I'm going to be a management consultant.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the U.S. for 3 months and just drink.
I'm going to go,
Alright? Like,
I'm gonna go to the gym and then become a professional fighter.
Yeah, it's like damn.
Like I can't even go to the gym twice.
No, all
Exactly.
I said was yes to everyone, right?
Yeah.
So I basically,
Have you tried improv comedy?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's all about yes. Whatever we give you, yes, I'll
would,
take that.
You would crush improv comedy
Exactly.
and probably punch several of 'cause
Yeah.
improv comedians are really
Yeah,
annoying.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm terrified of that stuff. I've been to one show, and I've seen YouTubes and stuff. I would be absolutely terrified
Of improv?
of what you guys do. I
Oh.
could not do that.
But
I
you-
would rather be punched in the face.
Man. Same feeling. Same feeling. Yeah, we
I agree.
We just don't get to claim insurance after that. That's the problem. We're just like, oh, it hurts. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely would rather be punched in the face.
Yeah, so somewhere
Okay.
along the lines, I decided, well, I'm really enjoying this, but also at the same time, I realized that just how unhealthy I was, and
With the drinking or the fighting?
the drinking. And I just, I started, okay, well, once upon a time, even longer before I was a management consultant, I used to swim state. And, I hadn't really done a lot of weight training once I stopped it. So once I retired from swimming, I was like, that's it.
And
I'm
that's like
just
state swimming in Australia, right? I mean, that's pretty high level. No, but is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I was too short. So I got told when I was 13.
You were too short. Like, what? You can float,
State.
right?
No, I got told I was too short.
You must have been pretty good, though. I mean,
If you're swimming for the
Not
state,
good,
yeah.
not good enough.
Not
so
Olympic good.
Yeah, exactly. And
State's pretty
at
good.
13 years old, that completely devastated
Yeah,
me. So
you're
they were
too
like,
short, damn.
you're like 5 centimeters or 6 centimeters too short,
Yeah.
and your wingspan is insufficient. So
if it makes you feel any better, they told me I was too short and bad at swimming. So
Yeah, exactly. And yet today he's a father of many.
I thought, all right, let's get back into strength training because I love the boxing side of things, but I just wanted to get stronger because at the time as well.
You do know squats make you shorter, right? The compression from the weights. Like, it's not helping with the growth spurt you're trying to achieve.
Then you do pull-ups.
Oh, yes, of course. That's the other thing people do as well. All right, go on. Yeah, sorry.
So I added the strength training because I was, at the time, having to train mostly with guys. And it's, you know, it's okay copping a punch from a girl, but you cop a good punch from a guy and you're like, woo!
Yeah.
So I've had my nose rearranged a couple of times.
Damn. Okay. Wow.
And that's not been.
I like how you're just like laughing about it. I'm like, your nose got rearranged.
Do we need to report this?
Like, I don't know. Like, you seem pretty happy about this.
You know what? The first time it happens, you know, you freak out, and then the second time it happens, you just go back onto YouTube and you Google, "How do I fix my nose myself?" There is a video. It's a good one.
Oh my god!
How to fix your nose is on Google.
But by the way,
How to put your nose back up.
But your nose is fine. Also, like.
Yeah, look at these.
Objectively much worse noses.
Yeah, I mean, like,
how do I get it back in line if it was never in line?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was born wrong.
Korea. South Korea.
Oh yeah, my wife is half Korean.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what she looks
why I
at.
have
You
a
go,
broken nose.
exactly.
Korea's not helping the straightness of my nose right now.
Well,
Exactly.
I hear they have good plastic surgeons.
They do.
They definitely do. All right, so then you started. So back then you were training already. You know, your own personal
Exactly,
training
and I was
stuff, so you
doing,
already-
and I felt like I was doing everything. You know, as every normal person would do. You start off with good intentions, but you do all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. And what I really wanted, I think, in coming towards 2012 was I really wanted to start coaching other women.
Okay.
And were you fighting at that time? Like, but what level of fighting? Because you fought professionally a match, right?
Yeah. And at the time I was still amateur.
And there was the first woman in Hong Kong to do it?
In the
First
cage,
MMA,
yeah.
right? In the cage, yeah. I announced it, right?
Yeah, you announced it.
You
I
announced
was
her
announcing,
match?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, dude. It was like what this was.
2015. It was Impy.
Yeah.
Can
I
you
was
give us what your announcer voice is?
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise and welcome Miss Tricia. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my god, dude, that's
dude.
amazing.
Yeah, man. That's all. I remember. I announced your name.
Exactly. Yeah,
'cause, like,
I was completely.
It was the
not
main card.
there.
It was the last
the
fight of the
very
night.
last fight of the
Yeah,
night.
yeah. I remember
How
that.
scary is that?
So
What's going through your head?
I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
So 5 or 6 weeks before that, I had a WhatsApp message from my now ex-husband asking for a divorce.
Wow. What's that message?
Yeah.
That's casual. He's like,
You've been married for days?
here's an animated GIF. And by the way,
Yep.
did he at least tag your name? Hey, at Tricia Yap?
At Tricia.
Are we allowed to say that's terrible? Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be
that's bad.
judgy
I
here, but
was
it's pretty bad.
physically present,
Yeah.
but mentally not there. I remember we had this press conference, and
day
one of the
before, right?
reporters,
Yeah, it was
one
the
of the
weigh-ins,
reporters
yeah.
was like, "So how does your husband feel?" And I was like, straight deadpan face. I was like, I don't know, but he asked for divorce.
Oh.
And like, I remember
Wow.
Vusi kicked me
Yeah, he's like,
on my knee, and he's like,
Busey was the promoter,
going
by
on?
the way. Yeah.
He's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
man.
The reporter's
Wow.
like, she's afraid of the match. She seemed nervous.
What a tough period to go through. I mean,
It was the worst year ever.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So what's it like walking down for that fight? You know,
Honestly speaking, I was gonna, like, in my head, I wanted to pull out, right? Because I was like, not
You were not there,
completely
yeah.
not there. And then I realized, like, this other girl who I actually know, and I knew she was training her heart out, and I was like, I can't do that to her. I can't do that to people who are coming in to watch us. Like, I can't just say I'm not going to show up.
Yeah.
it's an unusual kind of camaraderie.
yeah. She wants to kill me, but I gotta be there.
My
for
life
her.
is falling apart, but I gotta be a good friend and let her beat the shit out of me publicly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's go in. So all as I was walking in, all I had were like my closest friends there. You know, they were basically coddling me from the moment that shit happened. And all I really in my head that was going on, it was just blank. Like I didn't feel euphoria or anything. I actually felt relief when all of it was over. There was a slight moment of panic a minute into a fight. I think you might see me kind of like, you know, touch my eye and look at my hand.
Oh, contacts, right?
Your contacts fell.
Both
I remember,
I've done so many sparring sessions, so many fights, and my contacts have never even dislodged. Both of them flew out, and I was like, oh, this is great.
What should you do in that situation?
I don't know. I just kept going.
What would a coach tell you? No, but can you like call
stop the fight?
I mean, I don't watch fights. Can you like time out?
It was
or
in
something?
the first rounds. I didn't know. Because it never happened to me. So I just kept going.
You didn't
I
have
couldn't
some
see
backup
shit.
contacts or something?
No.
Like
Zero. Because it never happened to me before.
Yeah.
And I was 950 in both eyes, meaning 150 off disability in Australia. So I saw nothing. It was great.
You'll be even closer if you keep fighting when you don't have contact lenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Get all
It
the
was
way to that.
amazing. I've never had the opportunity to just use the force.
Yeah, that is great. That's blind boxing right over there, man.
That is mad.
That's a whole different level. Because I remember that night, it was the last fight, and I forget the outcome. Was it
Kim won.
Kim? Yeah. Because I remember.
Shocker.
Oh yeah, with somebody I can't see. I still won. Yeah. Because I remember that whole thing, and then afterwards you talked about it, or you had mentioned that when my contact. You got that. Someone said to me, I was like, really? That's insane.
Do you what was it like? Like walk me through that. You look up, can't see anything. What are you thinking?
Basically, I can only see things. So when you're 950 degrees in both eyes, the only thing that you can see is when it's probably around here.
Really close.
So real close.
Right before it hits.
I think that's enough. I mean that's good enough for
so
fights.
I would
Does she know
basically
you
see
don't have
this
contact?
great big blur that's a person. So everything's really blurry. So
Yeah.
imagine you put on somebody's glasses that you shouldn't be putting on.
Yeah, and you're
right?
fighting with that.
Exactly. And it's all blurry. Then all of a sudden, out of this blur, you see this incoming movement.
Super
but it's-
sharp.
And then just maybe about half a second before you kind of avoid it, it goes into like
High
HD mode.
definition.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoop.
Yeah.
But it's not like you would have been like, oh, I wonder what that could be.
yeah. It's coming towards me at this position. I'm in a fight.
Is that a red sun? No, it's the fist again.
Exactly. You got me again.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
Kim, you sneaky rat. Does Kim have any clue that you're just there blind, or are you keeping it together pretty well? Like, what are you
I don't
thinking?
know.
Are
You know
thinking-
what? I would have loved. I actually haven't sat her down. I think I should, because I wondered what she was thinking, and because I was completely. I lost at this point. I had no game plan.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were just like,
going to
whatever goes,
survive.
yeah.
Right. I was relying on my corner only after in the second and the third rounds to actually tell me where I was in space.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
basically after the first round, this is what my corner sounded like. Got my boxing coach going, she's blind, she can't see, she's blind.
Freaking
I got my MMA professor going, no worries, Tricia, no worries, you strong,
Yeah.
strong. And I was like, I am screwed.
Is that like wildly negligent? Like what?
Wildly
I think at that moment all they're thinking is like, I'm not in the ring. I'm not on me. So
So what? Like reviewing this, how do you think it should have gone? Like, how does that conversation go? Where you're like, I can't see. They're like, a lot of people can't see.
exactly. I mean, like,
Weren't
I
they
can't
supposed-
see you winning with this attitude.
Couldn't they try to get you some contacts or?
I don't know.
Am I crazy?
Exactly.
I think
Isn't it
because
crazy?
number one, it was probably too late, so all the shops are closed. Number two, I think this was literally, like you said, it was something nobody even expected to be a possibility.
But at what point do you not fight?
I don't think it was even in the rules. Like, there's no rules. Like, if contact lenses are on the floor, there's
Yeah,
a 5-minute
I know,
break. There's none of that. I can't go like, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a 5-minute short intermission. to improve her vision.
Well, if you,
Brought to you by
if you
IKEA.
cared about her even a little bit, maybe
dude.
you might have done that.
Andy,
Maybe
I-
you might have come up with new rules for
Let
that.
me say, I announce what they put on the cards. That's all I do. They say she won. I'm not fighting with this. I mean, the two punch
Like,
me.
Vivek, she needs help. Round 2.
Exactly. Please welcome person that needs some help. It's Tricia, the helpless. Yeah.
It never crossed any of our minds
Yeah.
that it
Yeah,
should
but I feel
stop.
like they should have been thinking of that on your behalf.
Yeah.
Why have a coach if it does not think in your best interests? You're getting hit in the head.
See,
Of course
the problem
you can't
is,
think.
I think her corner, nobody had contact, so they're like, well, she can't be that blind. I mean, maybe blurry. I mean, I've had blurry times too. You know?
I like to see clearly, but
Exactly. Yeah. But you really need to see everything clearly.
So it's safe to say no one was seeing clearly at that time.
Exactly.
Of course not. I don't think it's ever happened ever. I mean,
Yeah.
like you get knockouts, you get people with like broken bones or something.
I'm
You
like,
get
my
choked
analogy is like
out.
if I was skydiving
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, I have no vision. Well, but we were planning on skydiving,
Yeah,
so
so,
we're not going to stop this or try to rectify the situation
Yeah.
in
Don't
any
be
way.
selfish.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, but what
You
if you're
promised
what if
Sarah
you're
that you would
midair? What happens?
skydive
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
same day. So,
Yeah, so let's do it. Right? I know.
And in my head, I was just like, "Oh crap! All right, how do I survive this again?"
I mean,
Yeah.
it's lovely that you can find the humor in this, but it's savage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And the funny thing is, she didn't stop after that. Like after that,
Did you get some
other
punches
fights.
in? You got some punches in, right?
fuck yeah.
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 I bet you would have eaten her alive
Like,
if you could
oh,
see.
Kim posted a photo of her the next day, and I was like,
All bruised up and stuff. You're like,
Kim was in front of her, and the guy standing next to her had been punched several times.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Man, like, what do you call the post in the corner of the ring? You know, you're just like sucking the shit out of that. Like, Kim, you bitch! Like, Kim's like, I am over here.
Please.
"No, I really hadn't." Like I was throwing punches and just going, "Okay, I think she's close enough."
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just go for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you get that instinct in there.
And now, okay, let's say if you went through that experience, you know, you were half blind fighting in a cage, you probably be like, you know, I did what I have to do. It's in my record books. I can tell my grandchildren about that. But Tricia was like, no, I'm not stopping.
You're a champ. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I was there.
Yeah, exactly. I would have had that picture taken and had this big long story like I was there. It was a rocky moment, you know. Tricia was like, let's do that again. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Now I went and got laser eye surgery after.
Yeah, a smart move right there.
Would have been good beforehand.
Exactly,
I know. I was delaying the process, and then you know what? I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this laser eye thing done.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I can imagine.
That is not a fun
Scarier than
process.
fighting when you can't see.
It's kind of weird because you have part of the surgery requires them to lift your cornea.
Yeah.
And when someone's done it with one eye, like you're like, you know what to expect, and it's not nice.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
and
you
then
know-
they got to
yeah.
do the other eye, and that's when your inner
It's
voice.
not nice.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's when your inner voice is like, no, not again.
You have your priorities all wrong, man. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking this guy's a professionally trained medical person. I
Yeah.
trust him. Yeah. Here
You're
you're
like-
like, this person next to me is going to punch me. Let's do it.
You're there like, I don't know if this medical professional doing a procedure he does every day of the week,
Yeah.
I feel in danger right now. Versus you're completely blind
Yeah.
up against someone who has trained to fight you.
Yeah. And my corner says, keep going.
And your corner is like,
Ah.
vision is overrated.
Exactly.
Yeah, now that you put it that way,
Yeah.
I'd be firing
think
the
it's
coach
just-
pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just what you're used to. I mean, I'm used to going every day to training, getting
Yeah.
beaten up.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And
I guess
it's-
laser eye
yeah.
surgery. The problem was that
Dude,
we
I
only
love
have-
this guy was like a life coach, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, you need to stop drinking, or you could drink twice as much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could work. I think the problem is that we only have two eyes, so she can't keep doing the laser eye surgery to the point she's like, I'm used to it. I do it every day. You know?
Exactly. There you go. Whereas,
So-
going into gym, getting beaten up. Yeah.
But-
Sign me up.
But you didn't want to fight again after that, I guess, or
No, I had a couple of months later on my birthday, I had a training partner snap my leg in two. That ended it.
You need better friends, man.
How did that
I know,
happen?
right?
Yeah.
Just training.
Just training.
But it's a danger, I think, when you're, you train with guys. Like, it's.
They don't realize.
I've
This
actually
is why I don't
never
train.
been hurt by
Yeah.
a woman ever.
Ah, okay.
I have.
Yeah.
I opened the door for that one, didn't I?
That's another episode.
Physically?
Ain't no surgery for that, I'll tell you what.
Yep.
But
Then it progressed, right? From there, like you did the fights and everything, and then you got to a point where you were training people.
Yeah, so
was you training animals
over the years.
Hey, don't be so discriminatory.
you said people. It's so
I'm training, what are they
grew
called?
to training people.
Exactly. Humans.
So
Yeah.
over the years, I, when all of that kind of went down, I kind of had to do an audit of like what I was passionate about, what I wanted to do. At the time as well, when it happened, I was mid 30s, and there's only so much time you have as like a professional athlete,
And it's scary to have an injury like that, right?
Exactly, all the doctors and surgeons and all that were telling me it's going to be 2 years, and I was super stubborn. I was like, no, it's not. I'm going to get back in 3 months live.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a dangerous attitude to have.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I tried, 6 months in post surgery, I was like, okay, let me try, let me go.
I mean, I'm
back
just
in.
shocked that you would put your health at risk like that. It's so out of character.
Yeah, I know, right? Definitely. Yeah. The knee didn't feel right. Like I started panicking whenever anyone went for a foot lock on me or a knee bar, and I'd have a freak out, and I was like, okay, right, this is not going well for me mentally. But at the same time, what I was thinking was to set up a place where I could then share all the knowledge I've had, not just from the ring, but more on the strength and conditioning side, as well as nutrition and functional medicine, which is something that I had been sort of studying and practicing from around the 2013, only because a lot of people didn't know how to weight cut a female.
Yeah,
and I was put on all sorts of like
weight cutting
stupid diets.
is not a joke, man. Like weight cutting, basically, like in a short period of time, they got to cut this weight to do the weigh-ins for the fights.
Oh, yeah?
So like within a day? What was the craziest? You had one time you had to cut weight real big, right, for a fight.
Yeah,
so I remember that day you told me at the.
So you're in the right weight category, right?
Yeah.
So I had to cut. You're cutting anywhere from sort of 8 to 15 kilos, depending on
over how many
who
days?
you are. Well, it depends on when you get
8
when
kilos,
you
that'd be
know,
weeks. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like it could be weeks, right? It should be weeks, but sometimes people cut last minute for a fight, and there's only so much you can do, right? So you might get like, if you get a 7-day notice, that's pretty shit, but most of the time you get like a 12 to 16 week notice.
Yeah.
But you are stripping down on average about 10 for if I think about all the fighters I've worked with, around sort of 10 to 15.
Yeah, so 1 kilo a week,
Yeah,
almost. Right?
Exactly. If you're lucky, you might get someone that needs to cut 6 to 8, and that's easy. But
yeah, and then you got to put that weight back up within 24 hours before the fight. So you do the weigh-ins. You're like, I'm 50 kilos, and bam.
So
you're
people
like,
go into the fight, they're overweight.
From
they
the
just
fight
back
category.
to-
yeah, they bounce back to
Yeah.
whatever
Interesting.
weight. Yeah, it's really intense. Like when you come to the weigh-ins, it's a whole different game, man. And you come to the weigh-ins,
Everyone's like,
yeah, everyone's half dead. You see these fighters, you're like, these guys are supposed to be like killers.
Emaciated and
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm walking in the room like all ready to go. I'm like, what you can't touch me.
Vivek's like, I can take this. I can take this guy.
Exactly. I can take it right now. Don't eat that banana yet. I can do that. And so the weigh-ins come in, and you get to the point that someone doesn't make weight. They have like a few hours to basically cut that weight, and you can keep your clothes on when you go on the weighing scale, or you can be completely naked, up to you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have people who are really exhausted. They can't make weight. They got like maybe they're over like a kilo, so they got a couple of hours to burn and lose a kilo, basically water.
yeah,
Right.
it's all
brutal.
water at this stage.
Yeah, it's
so,
brutal.
It's super brutal for a female, because from a sort of adrenal side of things, we don't have a backup plan. Guys have like adrenals and balls that kind of help them kind of bounce back, but you do enough of these as a woman, and you're effectively moving up weight classes over time if you're not careful.
I'm so glad we don't have weight classes in comedy. Can you imagine comics like weighing themselves like before the set? All right, you're 70 kilos, so you lose 7 minutes.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine getting them on time for anything.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. Weigh-ins are very interesting. You get some of the late guys, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy's in trouble now." Because if you don't get in time for the weigh-ins, you're actually penalized. you can get penalized with money, or like you could even lose the fight straight up, and you have to pay your share of the money to the other person.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh, right?
So one of the things that we keep experiencing with guests is this transition from doing a job that they don't really care about to something they're really passionate about. At what point was your income no longer an office job?
That would have been way before. So that would have been sort of around 2013.
And so how did you make that transition?
I started off with a little company called Bikini Fit, which trained women outdoors, and then sort of progressed through that, left the company, started something called Warrior Academy. Which
now, this is the female-only boot camp, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big deal.
I guess so.
People probably appreciated that. They were like,
and it was, I suppose, nothing really at the time that was sort of female specific. I think one of the key differentiators was we would drag equipment out to the parks, and it's kind of like lockdown. It's like what we're doing now in lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. You have battle ropes and everything. Yeah. You got these women carrying. Everyone's just going like, what?
Dude, I just walked past the gym, the park here.
Yeah, they're working out, right?
Yeah. It's like a gym. I was like,
it's bizarre, right?
If every park in Hong Kong now is a gym.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
People with their elastic bands and everything walking on the streets. You're like,
we've been carting. You see the cart outside. We've been carting equipment out and in. And frankly speaking, like, don't know why I'm even working out just now. This is my workout prowling shit up Aberdeen Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a sled push right over there.
So was it hard for you to make that transition off, the traditional office job path?
I don't think it was, only because I was just super passionate about. I always wanted to be in the health and fitness industry. Back in Australia, I kind of suffered from that whole stereotypical. I'm Asian. I don't deserve to be in the fitness industry. Everyone in fitness was like, blonde, blue-eyed, like freaking...
Yeah, the typical...
they all look like models, and they're all amazing, and then I'm just this, like, shorter Asian girl that's like, what the hell are you doing here?
You're also not that short.
Yeah, well,
in Australia, maybe. I guess you're pretty all right.
I'm short in Australia.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Turns out
they're just giants over there?
I guess squats make you grow taller. I was wrong.
Yeah, and so I just never gave myself that option. I think when I moved to Hong Kong, I just felt like there's such a spirit of
not enough blonde people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
But there's also an entrepreneurial spirit here.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you're just able to do things that you normally, you wouldn't otherwise do back home. And I don't know if you experienced that
100%.
in Australia, but if you went and said, I'm going to start my own business, everyone's like, what? You crazy?
Yeah, Australia's got a real small town feel to it. Very judgy.
Exactly.
Whereas here, I think you just see people find it so easy to reinvent themselves.
No, people still judge you. They're just passive aggressive. They're like,
yeah, but I don't care what they think.
There you go, right? Yeah, that's the good thing about here.
That's the difference.
yeah, I think that's the issue.
So yeah,
judge me.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So I just when I started really into it, because all my life I've loved it. I've always loved the gym. I've always loved working out, training, whether it's swimming, trail running, adventure racing, getting my head punched in, like all of that stuff I loved. Like, when I started running, I was like, hey, let's start with 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15. Let's try a 20. What about 42? Oh, let's do 100.
Right.
Yeah,
You're competitive, highly competitive.
Yeah, highly competitive.
Yeah, and that was the same with martial arts. And so I thought, if I aggregated all the experience across the years, and basically get qualified for it, all of that, I really can now just coach people, and that's pretty much what my passion is today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, teaching a new generation of people.
And so that's led you to open your current gym, right?
Yeah, so Limitless, it's pretty much my baby that I've been working on in my head from the beginning. Like, if you look at Bikini Fit, it was a female-driven community. We were doing outdoor boot camps, but there were a lot of things that we couldn't do because we were in an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
And and because it's a boot camp, everyone thinks like, oh, I need to get smashed and bashed and I want to sweat and all this stuff. And really, when the girls ask me, how do I train? I was like, not like that, right?
Yeah.
And I do some of that stuff, but not every single day or not in that intensity either. And there's a lot of mobility work, remedial work, prehabilitation work, even like tempo stuff, like all this other great big world. And then that's not even on the health side of things with habitual change, really understanding how your body works, and how all your different organs kind of come together, right? And how your brain works. All this recovery is another one, right?
Yeah.
And you've got all these different great big puzzle pieces that I just thought, across the years, I'm just going to really learn and become a real student. I still am a student, but now I feel like I'm actually ready to kind of come out to it and really get people to truly understand that fatigue is not a benchmark. Go hard, go home. That's your one ticket to destroying your body.
Okay.
Right, as opposed to getting healthier.
I agree. That's why I never worked that hard.
I would never destroy myself.
Tricia told me that trying hard is bad for you.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't try and I don't go hard. All right, there you go.
No
Go
pain.
a little bit.
No pain, no pain.
Measured pain,
Measured pain.
intentional pain.
So right now you're training people of all calibers. I mean, you have the beginner, you probably like wax on, wax off for them, and then like the higher level will be the crane move, stuff like that. Like you have the whole
so
spec-
we've got everyone from like jiu-jitsu black belts, brown belts to like
and they train
Mrs.
together.
Smith down the road with 3 kids. No, so we're mostly private and semi-private training. So we generally do semi-private, meaning small groups up to 6, but they all start together and end together.
Yeah.
There are no walk-ins. I don't have group classes that are on ClassPass or anything. And it's more because I want everyone to see their progression. And build little groups as community, because that's so important when
Now,
it comes to
I'm
all
curious,
of this.
what would you do if halfway through that small group session, one
Yeah.
of the participants loses their contact lenses? What do you do? Do you stop or do you go, keep going? We don't end this one to do it.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, we got Don Donkey down the road
Oh,
with
yeah.
like colored lenses
yeah, they
and
come up with,
different
like-
powers. Like it's
We'll
all
be
good.
fine.
We'll fix it.
All right, so she has learned her lesson. She has learned that no context is not the best way. Okay, just want to make sure, in case anyone's curious right now.
And how different is it for you, on a personal level, being able to spend your time doing something that is that meaningful for you?
It was funny because we were having this conversation the other day where we're talking about what we're going to do if we retired, right? And everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna live on this farm. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And I was like, "I don't really know."
You probably won't stop. You'll just
I really genuinely love what I do. I don't think I could stop that.
yeah.
You can maybe
Right.
buy a second pair of contact lenses.
Yeah, exactly.
I would, I would just not want to deal with admin and IT.
Yeah, what I always think about that is like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
the one thing, yeah.
I think if that point of retirement, if you're still young enough, it'd be nice to go, all right, let's just take some of the money and just pay away the parts of this that I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like, what's
I would
that
like,
worth to you?
I would like
Yeah.
not have social media. I would not have anything, I don't know, to do with technology. Actually, my goal in life is to basically be in a place where my gym doesn't even have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Miyagi, basically, from the Karate Kid. Like, that's basically what it is, right?
And my gym,
Exactly. I just have a landline. How about that?
and people are just like, painting fences and just waxing cars. I don't know. It's this idea that I have
yeah,
for a
exactly.
gym.
When I retire. Yeah.
Exactly. There's no branding needed. Like, people, it's purely 100% referral. Go to this girl. She fixes people. Great.
Yeah,
like,
done.
that's it. Done.
Yeah. Oh, that's the dream, man.
So what do you think is the most important thing that's being done through Limitless, or the most important thing that you're doing at the moment?
I think one of the things is that we really, really try to help our clients understand what's going on with them. So we kind of work with this, I suppose, all these cases where, it's they've done the transformations, those 12-week, 16-week transformations. And I often get the clients that are like, they're the afters.
Oh, okay. So they've done that first phase.
They've done, those 12, 16 weeks. They've lost a bunch of weight. Then they've put it back on and more. Then they've done another transformation and they've lost that weight. And then they put it back on and more. And then basically after all of that stuff, they come to me and they're like, I've tried everything.
But you haven't tried Limitless.
And I'm like,
ladies and gentlemen, it's Limitless, Tricia.
I know. Then I'm like, okay, so how many diets have you gone on? If it's over 5, I'm going to tell you, I'm a coach. I'm not a magician.
Yeah.
I wish I were a magician.
Is it not that hard to figure out that it's all the parts between the efforts that's causing the problem? I mean, I'm not a scientist, but
yeah, but people still want a magic pill.
They don't want to make the structural change.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the hard part that I unfortunately have the responsibility in this way to tell people, which
so you're
is
coaching
like
a change mindset as well then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And through just sharing our knowledge about, okay, a doctor says you've got leaky gut. So sometimes I get people come in and go, I have leaky gut. I was
What?
like, okay, do you know why it's leaky?
Your guts. I sweat from my abs.
What kind of back alley doctor is this? Like, I have
You've
a
been
fever.
diagnosed with-
You have the leaky gut.
Exactly. It's like, I will perform the anti-leaky gut ritual on you.
Oh yeah,
Cold
that's one step
dehydrate.
before the wiggly ear. Let's
pray
how
to
it
the towel
goes.
and wipe that muscle. Yeah. Okay, so the leaky. So someone let's say has an issue with leaky gut.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, great, that's good. You've got a name to the issue, but do you know what that truly is?
Just
Right?
like you know what we can do. For everyone who's confused what leaky gut is, Patreon users, we will tell you what it is. People, you're gonna figure it out yourself.
It's cancer.
Yeah. All right, go on. Yes. Okay. You got these people,
So
these
that's
issues.
pretty much what I spend the extra time now. Coaches spend the extra time to kind of, okay, this is why it's become like this. This is how you could possibly fix it. However, right, you can't go balls to the wall on this one because the root of the issue really is just your shitty lifestyle and diet habits.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to have to change. Like, I can give you the map, but
you got to walk the path.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
training program where you get to keep eating this much ice cream.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You can't walk on the
Exactly.
treadmill with a tub. It doesn't work that way, right?
I've tried. You just end up with a beard like mine.
Exactly.
But also to
Permanently.
understand, like, what do certain foods do with you? So, coming back to ice cream, if I ate 2 scoops of Haagen-Dazs dark chocolate, Belgian chocolate ice cream,
Oof, God, that's
right?
good.
And I ate a baked potato. Right, my blood sugar actually spikes higher with the potato than it does with the ice cream.
I'm getting ice cream right after this.
Oh yeah, this is good news, people. I
I'm
want
married
more.
to a Russian. Do you know how many potatoes I eat? It's just potatoes.
Damn, that's good news.
My diet is 90% potato.
90%
Like if it was a pyramid, it's just a potato.
It's just-
It's just a triangular potato.
Yeah, not even a pyramid. It's literally the shape of a
other
potato.
stuff on top.
Yeah.
With just smaller potatoes
It's actually a potato with the pyramid of the toppings on top, right? That's what
with
it
the
is.
ice cream on it.
Yeah. Melting.
But it's very individual. So what we use sometimes is we put glucose monitors on people.
Yeah.
And you check in, it's an app on your iPhone, you check in, there's a tiny, tiny little
Oh,
needle
how
onto
good's
it.
the technology
Yeah,
for tracking stuff?
There you go, right?
Yeah.
And you get to see your blood glucose levels post.
It should be the same
Food.
all over your body, right? Like my right leg's got lower glucose than my left arm. Can that be possible?
Yeah, just like putting the potatoes in the left side of your
Yeah,
mouth.
like just lean. I'm gonna lean to the left, eat my ice cream, but like she won't know.
Well, it depends on where. No, it doesn't. I don't know. I actually don't know. So I've told people you've got to put the monitor on your tricep.
Yeah.
Right. Do not attempt to put it anywhere else on your
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
But I have seen parodies on YouTube
Yeah,
where
trying
there are
different
people
areas.
sticking it in all sorts of ways.
The old butthole sticker.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no sugar there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
well, not a lot of sugar, plenty of shit.
Exactly. Detect that, bitch.
Yeah, I haven't tried, so I can't
All right.
comment on that one.
Okay, good enough. Okay, so then so holistic. It's not just the training. I think that's the one thing
No.
that a lot of people associate with gyms is just like we work out, we go home, that's about it, right? But you're like thinking more out of that.
Exactly, and because it just is like that. I mean, you can't out train a bad diet, you can't out train a bad lifestyle. I mean, you can train really, 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 really hard for 12 weeks, but what are you gonna do after that?
Yeah.
Right, and at the end of the day, like if after 12 weeks, you have no social life, no friends, you're not eating much, you're miserable, you're moody.
I know what you can do after that. White collar boxing, people.
I was going to say stand-up comedy.
Same difference.
Well, what with COVID on? So you have masks.
Yeah, that's a whole different level, man. Half your face is covered. It's like ninja fighting now.
But that it is amazing though. So people can come to Limitless to check that out, right?
Yeah, well, when we're open.
Yeah, when things open up.
Thank you so much for coming on.